Hello, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Please ensure to like, share, and subscribe. And also click the bell notification in the top right-hand corner to be made aware anytime I upload tutorials or videos to YouTube. All right, let's craft together. Hey guys, I'm going to be showing you a new product that I'm going to be trying out today. And this is from Koala. I will link them in the description or their site in the description if you're interested in these. We know it's August. It's towards the end of August. Christmas is going to be here before we know it, guys. And you're going to be running around in November saying, what can I do for Christmas gifts? What can I sell for Christmas gifts? So now is the time to start thinking about those things so that you can go ahead and get ready and be ready for Christmas. Okay, so that when it gets here, you're like, oh, girl, I did that back in August and September, child. All right, so from Koala, I ordered this 8x10 aluminum sublimation blank. And it has, when you receive this, if you were to order this, when you receive it, it's going to have a plastic coating. And I'll show you, I've kind of balled mine up now. But it's going to have a plastic coating on the front and the back of the aluminum blank, okay? You want to make sure all right, so you want to make sure that you pull this off. You want to peel it off. And what I did is I normally just take my weeding tool, being very careful, and I'll start in the corner and kind of start pulling up on that plastic until it lifts, and then I'll just pull it off. You want to be careful with metal things like this because you don't want to scratch your sublimation blank, okay? But again, you're going to have this plastic is going to be on the front and the back side. So you want to pull both of them off. Otherwise, you're going to be sublimating onto plastic and not onto your sublimation blank, okay? For sublimation, you're going to need sublimation ink. I'm using A-Sub ink. You're also going to need sublimation paper. I'm using A-Sub sublimation paper. And I have the Epson Workforce 7720. There's also an Epson Workforce 7710. A lot of places they've been discontinued, but you may find them on Etsy or something like that. The difference between the two is the 7720 has 2 trays and the 7710 has 1 tray. Other than that, they're pretty much the same. And you need a heat press, okay? So I'm going to be sublimating this for at 380 for about 50 to 60 seconds. I have the perfect image from Etsy. Now, remember I said Christmas gifts that you want to either gift to people or you want to sell, you don't want to make to sell. So I found this perfect image with a phrase on it from Etsy that I'm going to be sublimating onto this. Now I am going to go into Cricut Design Space. I'm going to put an 8x10 shape in Cricut Design Space, and then I'm going to upload my image to Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to look at their sizing, because you know there's restriction on the sizing that you can print in Cricut Design Space, and I'm just going to see what it looks like in Cricut Design Space. So I may print from Cricut Design Space, or I may print from Microsoft PowerPoint if I want to make it larger than what Cricut will allow. Also, when you're doing sublimation, you want to make sure to mirror the image. If you don't mirror the image, then it's going to be going in the wrong direction when you print it out, okay? So anytime you're sublimating, you want to make sure you're mirror, okay? So you'll see me do those things here. I'm also going to be using heat gloves that I ordered from Amazon because when this comes off the press, it's going to be super, super hot. And you do not want to burn yourself. Trust me, I got a burn right here from my heat press because I don't have my gloves on. So you want to make sure that you have your heat gloves and also some type of heat tape. You can use butcher paper or Teflon sheets to protect your press. But you'll see me do those things here in just a moment when we get to the pressing part. But we're going to start out in Cricut Design Space, and then we're going to go from there. All right. All right, guys, here we are inside Cricut Design Space. I have a blank canvas. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a shape by just clicking on shapes here. And I'm going to take the, let's go with the rectangle. Okay. And it has your rounded corners, which is just like my aluminum blank. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to unlock our proportions here in between your width and your height. You're going to click on that lock one time, and we're going to make this exactly the size of our aluminum blank. So we're going to go 8 by 10. Okay. And we can even go ahead and lock that back. Now that we have our sizing, to lock it back, you just click it one time. And then we're going to change the color to white, which is what we're working with. Okay, so this is just like the aluminum blank. So a lot of times, guys, when you guys are asking questions about what size should I make my image, you know, when you have an opportunity like this to play around with the actual type of shape that you're working with inside Cricut Design Space, do that, and then just bring your image in, size it on your aluminum blank or on your canvas here, and then determine what size you want to make it. So now I'm going to upload my image that I'm going to be working with. So we're going to go back to the left here. We're going to click on upload and upload image, browse. And right here in my downloads is the image that I'm going to be working with. Okay. And then I'm going to select complex, and in the bottom right corner, continue. And on this screen, I don't have to do anything. If I had a white background, I could remove it if I wanted to, but I'm just going to click on apply and continue in the bottom right corner. And for this particular project, you want to select the print then cut. So what you see is what you get. If you were to select this cut image by accident, the only thing Cricut will do is cut out this shape. That's it. You're not going to have any color, okay? If you select the print then cut, it's going to send it to your printer to print it for you, and then you're going to take that material or what have you, and then you'll put that into the cutting machine to have it to cut for you. But since I'm only going to be doing this for sublimation, I'm not going to be cutting anything on my cutting machine. I'm just going to do a hard cut around this image and put it onto my sublimation blank. So we're going to select print then cut. We can tell that this option has been selected because it has a green border. And then we're going to, in the bottom right corner, select upload. You're going to select your image, and in the bottom right corner, click add to canvas. All right, it comes in super large. Don't freak out. Just go. You can see your lock proportions is already unlocked because the little lock is, you know, coming up and going to the right here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to size this down, and let's go 6 by 7 and see what that looks like. Looks pretty good. So we got a width of 6 and a height of 7, and let's just bring that down. It looks like a lot of wasted space to me. Let's go as large as we can in Cricut Design Space. So we're going to do width of 6.7 and 9.25. Okay, that's not as bad. So this is the largest that you can print inside Cricut Design Space. If I were to go larger, I would get a little exclamation alert here that will tell me my image is too large. So if you ever get into a situation where you see this, see here, you get this little exclamation. That is telling you, if you click on it, not supported by the maker. Image too large. Reduce image size to 6.75 by 9.25 or less. or change the page size. Okay. Now, this page size is new to me. I'm going to play around with that and then I'll do a tutorial on it. So right now we're just going to go and we're going to stick with the 6.75 by 9.25. Okay. And there we have that. And then I'm going to take the two of them together and highlight them. And you can see here on the right, I have the image and the shape highlighted. And I'm going to go to Align. And I'm going to choose Center horizontally and then Center vertically. I could have just selected Center. There we go. All right, so that's what it's going to look like when we are done. Now, one of the things I'm going to tell you is I could take this into Microsoft PowerPoint and I can make this whatever size I want. So if I were to take it into Microsoft PowerPoint, I could get a bigger image or larger image here to where it would look like that. Okay, so just so that you can see the difference. Okay, so for you guys that normally ask what size should I make it, it's really up to you. It's based on what you're going to be sublimating or printing the image on. Okay, so you could, if you're one that don't want to have a lot of space left, then this would work for me. If you don't mind having the extra space and that 6.75 by 9.25 will work for you, then you could also do that. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Now, you could get creative and put that space there. And, you could play around with this when you get ready to put it on your blank to determine if you want it completely centered, you want to make it off-centered, whatever works for you, whatever looks best. You may even want to put a person's name on here, to personalize it, but it's completely up to you. But I'm going to go ahead and leave that spacing. So at this point, what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and get rid of the shape because we really don't need it. It served its purpose. And so all we have left behind is just our image. So we're going to go ahead and click on Make It. And then when you get to this screen, this is where you want to make sure that you select the mirror option here for this little radio button. So you're just going to move that over. So it should be green to show that you put it in the reverse. Now, don't freak out and say, well, the words are going backwards. And I'm speaking to the newer sublimation users. Because when you get ready to put this onto the aluminum blank, it's going to be face down. So when you sublimate it on top, it's going to be going in the right direction. If you forget to mirror, this is what is going to come out on your sublimation blank. It's going to look like this, even though I have this mirrored. What I'm saying to you is if you forget to mirror, this is going to be your outcome. It's going to be all in the wrong direction, okay? But you want to make sure that you do hit this mirror. And then we're going to click on Continue. All right, so we're going to send this to our printer. And I have to make sure that I select my Epson Workforce 7720 because I have two printers. So we're going to go ahead and select our 7720 series. I want one copy. I don't want that extra ink, so I'm going to remove the bleed. I'm going to use the system dialog because I like to choose my own dialog settings when I'm using sublimation, and then click on Print. So again, I'm going to go back and select the 7720 because it will go back and select the 7740. And then I'm going to select Preferences for the 7720. I want this to go on paper cassette 1, letter size paper. just plain paper. My quality, I want to go to more settings, and I'm going to change that to quality. All the way over to quality. And okay. And also, up under more options, I'm going to remove high speed. Okay. We're going to go back to the main. These are your little tabs here. And everything else looks good to me. So I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to get ready to load my paper. Give me 1 second. All right, I already have my 8.5 by 11 A sub paper, so I'm going to go ahead and click print. All right, so my Epson Workforce 7720 is getting ready to print out my image. Now, because I'm not going to have Cricut to cut this for me, I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and then I'm going to come up on camera so you can see the image printed out. Guys, here's our image. It has printed out. It's still sort of wet, so you do want to allow the ink to dry. Sometimes you can place it under the heat press for a couple of seconds. Just be careful because you don't want it to start trying to sublimate. Because you left it on there for 5 minutes. But just give it about a minute under your heat press to allow the ink to dry. Now what we're going to do is this registration mark, you want to cut that off. If you don't cut it off, it is going to be in your sublimation final product. So we're just going to go ahead and cut that off. And I'm just doing a rough cut around. All right, one thing about sublimation, for those of you that are new to sublimation, when you first print this out, it's going to look very dull, and it's supposed to. The vibrant colors, which is why people love sublimation, and it lasts longer than your fabric transfers, that doesn't come to life until you apply the heat. When you apply the heat, it's going to be perfect, okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this set up now. Remember, we're going to take this, we're going to lay it face down onto our sublimation blank. You know, you get into the position and where you want it. We're going to put some heat tape on it to keep it in place because you don't want your image to move. If your image moves, you're going to end up with ghosting, and it's just going to look like a double print, okay? And blurry to the eyes, like if you've ever been intoxicated before, and I haven't. That's what it's going to look like, double vision. Okay, so you don't want that. You want it to be nice, crisp, clean. Okay, so you want to make sure that you put some heat tape down to hold it in place. So this is basically what the finished product should look like, centered. I'm going to have it kind of centered on my sublimation blank here, but it's going to be much more vibrant than what you see here, okay? So the colors look dull until you apply heat, okay? So like I said, I'm going to sublimate this at 380 for about 50 to 60 seconds and see what we get, okay? And that's it. So join me at the heat press. All right, guys, so I've placed my image face down onto the aluminum blank and taped it down with some heat tape. I'm going to put my Teflon sheet on top to protect my heat press, and I'm going to place my gloves on. I'm going to be pressing this again at 380 Fahrenheit for about 50 to 60 seconds. and then we're gonna see what we have. So I'm gonna put my gloves on here in a moment, but I do need to be able to control the press, so give me a second just to get up here. Alrighty, so here we go. I'm gonna press this, like I said, 380. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that down, and then I'm gonna bring you back when we get about 5 seconds away from it being done. All right, guys, we're almost done here. I'm gonna put my heat gloves on because this is gonna be super hot and you don't want to touch it at this point with your bare hands. So we're gonna remove our Teflon sheet, and you don't have to use a Teflon sheet, guys. You can use regular copy paper, you can use butcher paper, any of that will work for you. So I'm just gonna lift up on the bottom here. Oh yeah, that is beautiful. Ah, it turned out so beautiful, guys. I did 380 for actually 60 seconds. So let me try to bring this in so you guys can see it. Look at those colors. Those colors are absolutely gorgeous. All right, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna allow this to cool for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my heat press off, and then we'll talk about the finished results. But this has turned out absolutely beautiful. Look at that. Look at those colors. How vibrant those colors are. No ghosting or anything. So give me 1 second. All right, guys, we're back. Taking off my heat gloves. Again, I ordered these off of Amazon a couple of years ago. My heat gloves. And the heat tape that I used, I also got this as a bundle package. It came with like 4 packs of heat tape, 2, I think, Teflon sheets or something like that, which is what you saw me use in the video. And I've not had to order any in years. So you only use a little bit, guys. You don't have to go all the way around the image just putting bunch of tape. You saw I used 4 little pieces. I took off 1 strip and then I divided it into 4, and I put a piece of tape at the top, the bottom, and both sides. All right, look at that, guys. Absolutely beautiful. It's got a little bit of a glare on there, but hopefully you guys can see how beautiful that turned out. Okay. Perfect. Now you can get the little things from Walmart, magic strips or something like that you can put on the back so that you can actually hang this up, or you can lean it up against something. Either one will work. You could also get the little small, they have the small little legs that you can put on the ends if you wanted to kind of sit it on a table or desk or something like that so that it sits up. But this turned out absolutely beautiful. Again, this sublimation blank is through, this aluminum 8x10 sublimation blank is through Koala. It's Koala, as if you were saying a koala bear. Okay. Again, I am going to link them in the description along with this blank. You get 2 of these for $21. Okay, you get 2 of these for $21. And what else? Like I said, I sublimated it at 380 for 60 seconds. I don't think it needed any more pressure. It looks absolutely amazing. Like, these colors are to die for. This, along with the A-Sub ink, the A-Sub paper, perfect. This is the Teflon sheet, guys, that I used. And like I said, I bought the bundle set where it came with the heat tape and the Teflon sheets. And I've had both of them for years. I've not had to replace it or, order more tape or what have you. So other than that, I think I've given you everything, guys, especially if you're new to sublimation and you're not really sure how to get started. I have some really, really great tutorials on my YouTube channel. Check out my playlist. Most of my sublimation items are in the sublimation folder, like this one will be. And I have a tutorial out there on how to, like if you want to switch ink, and I mean brands of sublimation ink from, let's say, Hippo ink over to A-Sub. Then I show you how to remove the ink from your printer and then how to reinstall the ink, the new ink into your printer. And then I show you what it looks like so you can see that all of it works when you're done. You cannot, and I repeat myself, you cannot just go from, you don't want to mix brands of ink. So if you have Hippo ink in your printer now, you don't want to take and get A-Sub ink and just start adding it to your cartridges. Don't do that. You're going to tear up your machine. Trust me. Okay. Not that I've done it, but that's what's going to happen. Okay. But check those videos out. And I have also a great tutorial out there on sublimating onto a mouse pad. That's another great item that you might want to sublimate on and create as gift items or create to sell for Christmas. But guys, it's August. This is the perfect time to start thinking about what do you want to do for Christmas as far as, what types of items you want to give out to people or what type of items do you want to make to sell. Okay, this is the time. The closer you get to December, you're going to be finding that you cannot find the supplies that you need. So let's not even get there. Okay, let's go ahead and start now. And this guys, this is a great place to start. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, and again, right now you get 2 for $21, and they're 8x10s. Don't forget to remove the plastic from the front and the back side. Okay, you want to remove the ink from, not ink, the plastic from the front and the back side, and be careful that you don't scratch, your sublimation button. All right. If anything wasn't clear in this tutorial, guys, please let me know because I do take that to heart. I do want to make sure that you learn. That is my goal at the end of the day. And yeah, that's it. So you guys, I want to thank you for those that are subscribed to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for following me and trusting in me to teach you how to do different crafts. And I welcome all new subscribers. Come, 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 come. And I also want to thank all of my Facebook group members. Thank you guys so much for the kind words while I was out sick. Still not 100% healed. I still can't walk. So I don't know if you guys can see, there's my Maserati. Right there, my scooter. So that's what I'm using to get around, and I have a boot on. So I don't want to re-injure my leg by falling or anything like that. So I want to thank you guys in my Facebook group for showing so much love during the time that, from my accident. And I appreciate you guys. And if you would like to join my Facebook group, it is called Candoris's Cricut and Creative Crafters, because it's not just about me, it's also about you guys as well. You can be creative. You can do all of the stuff that I'm doing. You can do it. I haven't been to school. I watched a lot of YouTube. I made a lot of mistakes. And then I decided, you know what, I could do this. And I started doing tutorials, and I've been going since then. But I'm here to motivate you and to encourage you, to let you know that you can do this. It is not hard. There is not magic. It's not magic. When you get finished with it, it's going to look like magic. But it's not magic, and it's not hard. Okay? All right, guys, that's it. You know, my motto is each one reach one so that each one can teach one. And you guys have a great day. Bye.